I'm going to travel along a 5-kilometre stretch of this road from the Samung intersection, CX Samung, and I'm going to go past Big C intersection, that's the Mahir intersection, and then I'm going to go straight on into the airport intersection, which is at the crossroads outside of Airport Plaza, where the Mahidol flyover goes over the top, and then I'm going to come back in the other direction. And the purpose of this journey today is really to talk about death by design. So I hope you get what I mean. Here is a road which goes into a residential area on the junction of a very busy main road, and at this intersection of this road coming out there is this U-turn. So people can come from Hangdong, do a U-turn and then do another, quick left into that road there. People coming out of that road don't want to go all the way down the road, the other U-turn down the way there. They want a quick exit onto the Hangdong Road and go into Chiang Mai. So they'll just cut straight across. It's a very, very, badly designed accident waiting to happen area. And this is just the first of the U-turns that I want to bring to your attention, just to show you the death by design, as I call it. I treat every accident as a possible death when I speak like this, because it doesn't take very much for a head to hit the ground, or a car to hit another car, and a car in the other direction hit that, travelling at a slow speed. It is so dangerous to have an accident anywhere on a road, and it could lead to death. So if people are doing a U-turn coming from Chiang Mai here, they are typically going to the PTT petrol station over there. Otherwise, they're coming out of the village on the right-hand side, and they're joining the Hangdong Road, and then they're making a 3-lane crossing over to the U-turn to go back into town. What I'm trying to demonstrate here is that these junctions are out of date. Around the country, many road systems have shut U-turns down, or where available, put U-turns underneath main roads. Well, this Hangdong Road is not able to have a U-turn put underneath, but over time, the roads department the highways department have shut down some of the U-turns, and that has made a great benefit to the amount of near accidents, let alone accidents. It helps in Thailand if you are courteous. It helps in driving, riding here if you are forgiving and understanding. And I remember when I was 17 and learning to drive, the driving instructor that taught me first, he told me to treat all other road users as idiots. And I think that has actually stood me in good stead. Albeit I've had a few accidents in my time, I've actually looked at people when I'm driving as idiots, and I think that idiot over there is going to do something like this, and sure enough they do. And it's when they do that it reinforces in you that you must treat other people as idiots on the road. Otherwise you become the idiot and you end up in being the person who has dented your vehicle but also caused somebody an accident. Okay, so here we have the next U-turn, which is, as you can see, outside the Shell garage coming out of Chiang Mai. You've got a U-turn that people are queuing on the centre there. They want to go back into town. Now, where have they come from? They've only just left town. They've only just left Tesco's, and they want to go back into town. Now, because of the volume of traffic that will come from Hangdong when the lights change, they will want to jump the queues to get in before the volume of traffic comes from Hangdong area, and therefore they will start the flow going over the U-turn. And look, there's a hesitation. Oh, there's a fast one coming in from the back. And that sort of concertina effect that's happening here now, happens 100 times a day. If you are courteous and kind and generous on the road, you stand a better chance of not having or causing an accident. But as you have seen here, if you are generous and courteous, you can also possibly increase the risk of people having accidents, because that concertina effect that occurs when letting people out of a tributary road onto a main road, because you are being courteous. Now, I do believe that many riders and riders in particular have an idea that they have a to B to go to. They start someplace and they just go where they're going to go to. They have got no real idea as to where they are in respect of other people on the road. It's a tight turn. Now look at this black car. Absolutely wonderful. Another scenario of a U-turn that causes more problems. It's out of date, isn't it? Because what's happened off the Hangdong Road has developed and the road system has not. Thankfully, the Department of Highways has shut some down, but the ones that are open still are designing an accident. They're designing the possibility of death. They're making opportunities for these accidents to happen. My observations about these U-turns is borne out by the motorcyclists that use the third lane, and then they overtake the queued traffic for the U-turn, and then they quickly stop, and anybody in the third lane coming up behind them can easily hit them up the back. A minute is a long time when you are impatient, and the people that were queuing on the left-hand side there at this U-turn, they are just wanting to get home. They just wanted to do that crossing, and as you saw, the procession of cars that are coming directly down the Hangdong Road from Hangdong coming into Chiang Mai, it's never ending, and they just sit there. But what's worse is when you get this line of traffic on the U-turn, here we go, the orange newspaper delivery guy, they will come along in the third lane and slow down because they need to do the U-turn, and therefore you'll see them come to this lane, here we go, and then into here. So people coming down the Hangdong Road like that truck there can easily hit them up the back. This is designed this way to allow people to cross at these intersections like this. It's designed to allow people to use the U-turn however they want. So the third lane on this road is the one that leads to the U-turn. You've only got space for about 5 cars before really you're asking people in the third lane to accordion back up, and therefore cause for there to be some problem in flow of the traffic. So the outdated infrastructure of these roads, it's now having a cost on people's lives. In this last few years, thousands of people have had accidents. It's affected their livelihoods. It's affected their health for the rest of their lives. The deaths, to be quite honest, are relatively low compared to the number of accidents. But the fact that there's accident by design, this sort of U-turn and busyness around the U-turn and turnings coming on and off of the road at the point the U-turn is at, is bound to cause an accident. And that has a big impact on productivity, on people's welfare, on people's happiness and health. Why isn't the government doing more about stopping U-turns? So up in the distance there, you saw that white van. He wants to join the end of that queue that wants to do a U-turn. And the traffic coming out of Chiang Mai will need to make a decision if they want to do a U-turn at this point as to whether to join that queue. Now, if they get fed up and thinking, well, I'm not going to join the end of that queue, I'll come and do a U-turn anyway, they then do a double car U-turn. Now this to me is one of the most dangerous of the U-turns, because I regularly experience it and feel it as I'm driving through. My stomach comes up in my throat sometimes because I see the stupidity of drivers taking this U-turn. There are the scenarios of double U-turning, as in 2 rows of traffic U-turning, and then there's a the motorbike will take the outside of the U-turn and the car on the inside will then block their view. It becomes a chaotic scenario. And then you've got the double, whereby the Hangdong to Chiang Mai people are doing a U-turn. At the same time, the people are doing the Chiang Mai to Hangdong U-turn. And they're shielding each other from the views of the other carriageways. And and you've got fast traffic coming out, fed up of all the traffic lights down there, wanting to get home, wanting to get out of town, and they will race along this stretch of road at a full speed of 60 to 90 kilometers an hour. And like this guy here, he's tried to do a U-turn and he can't make the full U-turn because of the space in the road. And when he comes around, he's got to stop at this point. So because there are 3 lanes here in this road doesn't mean to say that you can do a U-turn in the 3rd lane, because there's people selling food and there are shops here, and people park cars on this side of the road next to the U-turn. So you've got only 2 lanes. So it's even more of a problem. I'm whinging and whining and moaning, I know. But I am stating the bloody obvious, that the road system, the U-turns, are out of date. The system of road here cannot cope with the volume of traffic or how people treat the road. And once again, I'm talking about how people are treating the road because it's almost like they have become numbed by the design of the road. The design of the road leads them to think it doesn't really matter, and therefore people just treat it with little care. They don't really think about what's the point. The design of the road was like this, I'll use it like this. So 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, here at the, in my opinion, the most dangerous of the U-turns on my regular journey along the Hangdong Road. Chiang Mai to Hangdong U-turn lane, there's actually a space there for 14-ish cars, and at peak times that 14 is not enough, and it will extend into the 3rd lane. Now the motorbikes and the cars that then want to jump the queue and come to the front, they will use the 3rd lane and come to this huge space here and then go into either Supalai, the village, or do a duet U-turn with other people who are using the U-turn at that time. It's a very precarious arrangement. Once again, it's by design. What we have here are people coming out of a village on the right-hand side, Ban Wang Tan, and further on down is Gulapan 2, 3, 4, and on the left-hand side there you've got Gulapan 5, 6 and 7 villages, as well as a couple more across here. So it's a very busy intersection, and when you are looking at peak times with motorcycles racing to work, motorcycles racing home, it's an accident waiting to happen. It's death by design. I hope you don't think I'm being a sensationalist in trying to catch an accident in progress with my videoing. I'm not. I'm merely demonstrating the habits and demonstrating the processes that go on here at these U-turns. To give you an idea as to my observations and really how we as drivers, riders, need to perfect our roadcraft to think about what the other road user is going to be doing. Unlike in other countries, you have a certain law, road craft law, whereby you expect people to do certain things because there is a law, for instance in UK, with the highway code. But there are regulations here, but they are not enforced, and it is a very free country to in a relaxed way, do as people see fit. And when a problem occurs, then the powers that be can then cause for a charge to be made against a person because they broke a law. But it doesn't mean to say that the laws are, respected by every motorist. It's a relaxed, freedom-loving country. Well, I'm going to wrap this video up now because I've shown you in the morning and I've shown you in the evening. Well, there's some loud exhausts there, aren't there? I've shown you in the morning and I've shown you in the evening, and I'm going to wrap this video up now because I think it would be too long otherwise. But I hope you get a sense of what I'm rabbiting on about, and hopefully it will aid you in remembering when you're driving that there are some silly people on the roads. There are some, as I always like to remember, as my driving instructor told me, idiots on the road, and try not to be an idiot on the road myself. I have done other videos about road construction and also other traffic type videos. I'll leave the link to the playlist above and also in the description below. Check out my other playlists, and if you're in Chiang Mai, maybe there'll be something of interest to you. If you're coming to Chiang Mai for a holiday, or renting a motorbike and maybe renting a car, hopefully this will give you some Harley Davidsons. Hopefully this will give you some idea as to how you need to be aware of the road skills of the typical driver. I'm not saying all drivers, I'm not saying all riders, but many of them don't have awareness of what's going on around them. So because the roads have been designed the way they have, people are disrespectful of laws or regulations that cover how to use a road, and they'll use the road as they see fit because it's designed that way. Crazy, eh? See you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.